I'm Jess and you're watching Keto Rewind. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be answers to a Keto Q A that I had going in my Facebook group and also on my last video. So these questions or comments I've been getting are like common, so I figured why don't I make a video and answer them so it can help as many people as possible. So if you're not already in it, join my Facebook group and hit the link right there and come join us. It's a little bit more of a private setting versus the YouTube channel, obviously. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button below and turn on those notifications. This way you don't get to miss awesome videos like this. Okay, so Jennifer asks, I need help on where to start and help meal plans so that my kids will eat it too. Great question. I would suggest starting with this video right here. That video will address it in a lot more detail. I'm going to go over like the brief part of it. But first of all, the most important tip I can give you is planning. The easiest way to fail on keto is to go off plan because you weren't prepared. So that means every day you've got to sit down, one day in the weekend, you've got to sit down and make a menu for the week, go grocery shopping for those items, make sure you include snacks, and make sure you have all of that stuff at your fingertips so that you are prepared. Because like I said, it's so easy to go off plan or to cheat if you don't have the proper foods available. So that's so important. And when you come up with menus and stuff, I have a bunch of those videos here if you want to check them out. But make easy things. Don't go all crazy with it. Keep it simple. Keep it like a protein with a veggie. So easy, just like that. Don't make it any harder than that. And then when it comes to kids, I let my kids dip ranch or dip their food into ranch. That's like my secret to get them to eat anything. Plus most keto foods taste good dipped in ranch. But my kids will pretty much eat keto with us. When they're at school, they eat whatever the school feeds them. But when they're home with us, they eat keto, and they always even mention Mommy's cooking is better than school's. I mean, even my ranch dressing is better than the school's ranch. So I'll take that. I'll take it any way I can get it, because right now they are so easy to please and they want to eat what we eat, because I have an almost 4 and a 5-year-old, and right now Mommy is really cool. They want to be just like Mommy, and we're going to go with it. So obviously if your kids are older, they might not be quite so agreeable as my little ones, but either way, try using ranch. And also look at this video on how to roast veggies. That is the only way my kids will eat their veggies. They either eat them raw or they have to have them roasted. Steamed or like any other way, they don't like them. So weird. So, and then also I suggest you reading a bunch of books like the Obesity Code. Oh gosh, there's so many keto books. Like Keto Connect has a cookbook. That's one of the blogs that I follow. And they also have a YouTube channel. Dr. Jason Fung, he has dietdoctor.com. Let's see what else. Ruled Me, and just search around. Those are my suggestions, but search around, do your research, find somebody that you can relate to, that you're like on board with what their message is. Deborah asks, where do you see yourself a year from now? How will you feel? I love this question because it's the first time in my life that I'm going to be able to say, I'm going to be at a healthy weight and I'm going to be loving it. No, but in all jokes aside, seriously, I have never felt so confident in my answer that I'm going to be normal. Like, I am going to lose this weight. I will be no longer classified in morbidly obese category. I'm going to be on this side in healthy weight. So, but I feel like if I didn't make this channel and have the support system that I have, if I didn't have my family on board, if I didn't have the research and the planning part of the puzzle, also mastered, I don't think I would be able to say this. And then couple that with, I feel freaking amazing. I look much better. You know, those are like total perks as well, but weren't the reasons I'm doing it. And then just overall, I feel so good now. I can't wait to find out how good I'll feel when I hit my goal weight. So stay tuned. Oh, and also, while I have lost my weight, I will be in a more maintenance mode versus a weight loss mode. So I will be a little bit more relaxed. I'll have a little bit of carbs sprinkled in again, you know, like potatoes, like a sweet potato or a purple potato, like carbs like that, where I have completely eliminated them right now. But I will let a few of those sneak back in when I'm in maintenance mode. Anna asks, you might have answered this before. Which app do you use to track your macros? She's got a couple of questions, so we're going to go one by one. I like MyFitnessPal, and I like KetoGains.com. And I also just today opened up Carb Manager. Those are 3 great resources. I have used MyFitnessPal for like 10 years, way before it was cool. So I'm familiar with the MyFitnessPal setup, but I take the numbers from the other 2 and then put them into MyFitnessPal. But the Carb Manager even has recipes and stuff, so totally look into that. Have you had any struggles since starting keto? Yes. Week 1 was horrible. Oh, it was so brutal. I have a sugar addiction. So I broke that addiction that first week, and it was so hard. I felt horrible. I wanted sugar 24/7. And if somebody would have come over and brought something like a cupcake or something, I would have totally given in to the pressure. And then all of a sudden I felt great. Like after week 1 was over, it's just been so awesome since. But that first week, oh my goodness, it was so tough. And if I didn't already know how to do intermittent fasting, because I'd done it before in the past, that would have been hard to like add those 2 together right off the bat. So and then week 5, I had a 0 on the scale. I lost nothing, and I don't even know what happened. I think it was one of those sugar-free drinks that, I don't know, I guess my body didn't like or something. I don't know, but I still have no idea. And then keto also just does that. You like plateau for a week and then you have a big dip. I was, who knows? So week 5 was a big fat 0, which was discouraging, but I'm trusting the process. And overall, down 40 pounds. I can't complain. Have you had any digestive issues, maybe in the beginning, being on a higher fat diet? Yes. In the beginning, in the keto world, they have a saying called never trust a fart. And it's true. Never trust a fart when you first start. You will shart. Seriously though, think of it this way. If you have a cup of water, like 2 cups of water, one of the cups, you dip a big hunk of like bread in, and then the other one, you just pour oil in it. What do you think the difference is going to look like? That water is going to soak all up into that bread, and there'll probably not much left, excess water, whereas the oil and the water don't mix. So when you switch from the carb-based to a oil-based, you don't hang on to water weight anymore. There's nothing to soak it up. So if you drink it in, you're basically just a big hole. It's going to, what goes in comes out. So when you transition though, from that, you're going to be getting rid of all that water, which causes diarrhea, that causes some upset tummy. It's short term. It doesn't last forever. But if you were to have like a cheat meal or something, you would re-experience this. So as long as you like eat on plan and it goes away. But if you cheat or when you just start, you're going to watch out for sharks and watch out for diarrhea. And then where do I get my recipes? Do I have a favorite cookbook? I do not have a favorite cookbook. I have basically just used my recipes that I've always cooked with. I'm a cook. I'm Italian. I grew up cooking with my mom and my grandma and my nonni. My husband has celiac, so we were already eating like a gluten-free paleo lifestyle. I mean, granted, too much, obviously. And I was an honorary, giving up the gluten because it's so much easier to feed the household one thing than to have like cross-contamination, have him having the effects of being a celiac. So it was just easier to cook one way and adapt to his lifestyle. So I had already been cooking this way for a long time because it's the glutens and everything too, just like sugar. So I kind of already had like a nice stack of recipes to draw from. But I do follow a couple blogs for inspiration, like Keto Connect, Ruled Me, and Pinterest has a ton of recipes. And then I basically just make my previous recipes, I convert them to keto. So, but definitely check out those resources. Okay, Tim says, how do you handle social issues where food is served but none of it is keto? Okay, so this is a good question. Right now, while I'm in weight loss mode, I'm not going off plan no matter what. So I have found my voice where I normally would have just been a people pleaser and eaten the food, and I'm not that person anymore. Now I'm the person that found her voice and I speak up for myself. So if I say I got invited to somebody's house and I know there was going to be nothing keto available, I would offer to bring my own plate of food. So I would just bring something that I know for sure, when I go to cookouts, I like to bring like poppers. You take a jalapeno, stuff cream cheese in it and cheese, wrap it with bacon, make some poppers. So those are great crowd pleasers. You could bring an easy cold casserole with like broccoli or an egg salad, but I would offer to bring something. This way I would have something and I would just eat that. But that's another thing. I would let them know also that I'm on the keto, and to let them be truthful, like say, I'm really doing well right now and I would like to bring my own dish. And then that sometimes sparks conversation because a lot of people don't know about keto, and that gives you an opportunity to tell them what you're doing, share your story, and this way you get to eat and stay on plan. So be honest, and it's not going to hurt anybody's feelings if you tell them, this is what I'm doing right now, this is my life. They will want to support you. And especially if you want to hang around with these people or do stuff in social gatherings, these people are going to support you and be like super excited for you, and then maybe they'll want to try your keto food too. So I found my voice. I'm not a people pleaser anymore, and I will just be honest and tell them about my current situation, and usually they're like, heck yeah. Amy asks, do you eat whatever calories you want as long as you're keto, or you try to keep the calories in a certain range? I log all of my food. Like everything that goes into my mouth is logged until I know how to eat that way. So in the beginning, I logged every single thing. But now that I'm a little bit more experienced, if you will, I'm not quite so worried about logging my food, especially since I'm doing so much fasting. I'm definitely in a deficit every day. But at the beginning, when I had to relearn serving sizes, like my serving sizes before could have fed a family of 4, So I had to relearn how much is 2 cups of broccoli, how much is 4 ounces of meat. So I had to learn that and weigh it all at the beginning. So I did track all of my food and I did care. Not only did it have to be keto, but also had to fit inside my macros. And I wouldn't have known if I could eat it or not had I not been logging my food. And I try to stick between 1,200 and 1,300-ish calories a day. And that's a little low for me, but I'm fasting, and that's a huge amount if you're fasting to try and eat in a meal too. So, if I was not fasting, I would be more in like the 1,500 to 1,600 range per day. And I readjust those every like 10 pounds. This way I'm not overeating, and I have clearly enough excess fat to take. So Rebecca asks, is your family on board with keto lifestyle? If not, how do you handle food temptations, meal prep? Since I'm keto, well, first let's start over. My family is 100% on the keto train with me. Like my parents, my husband, even some friends are doing this with me. If I didn't have that support, or if they weren't doing it with me, I feel it would be so much harder to try and do this. It's possible, but it would have been so much harder to do it if they were not on board. So right now, even my kids, if they're home, they're eating lazy keto. My husband, he's on board. He has like 20 pounds to lose. Asshole. I'm sorry, but he's doing it with me, you know, so he's doing it not quite as aggressive as I am, so he gets to eat more. Plus he's a cyclist, so he has to eat more eat more calories as it is just to do those workouts. But my whole family's on board. And even when people come to my house, I cook, you know, and if I go to somebody else's house, I cook, you know, if we go out to dinner, I order keto approved, you know, I'm definitely going to stay on plan, and everybody benefits. Everybody's liked it so far too. How do I handle food temptations? Well, in the beginning, oh my God, it was a fight. I fought tooth and nail for my sugar addictions. After a week, those just kept going down and down and down. And now month 2, I'm not craving anything. I'm not even tempted or phased. In that first week, I would have given in. If somebody had brought over a tray of cupcakes, I totally would have given in. Now, I'm like, no, I feel so good. Those cupcakes made me not only morbidly obese, but they made me feel like shit too. So I'm not tempted anymore. It's crazy. And you won't know unless you got to month 2. I don't crave bread. I like having my burgers wrapped in lettuce. I like, you know, finding alternatives to eat. So I'm not tempted. So it's kind of crazy, but it's true. I swear. And I do a ton of meal prep. Prepping, like in referring to comment number 1, meal prep is so important because I don't necessarily cook for the week all ahead at once, but I do every day before my kids come home. I do prep whatever that day's dinner is so that when they come home and the mayhem has returned, all I have to do is put that food in the oven or pop it on the grill and cook it. Like all that dicing and all of that, you know, measuring and all that, you know, logging of my food, all of that's done before they come home. So, and I've also rearranged my whole schedule so that I have help now, so that I can get the meal prepping in. And last but not least, Marcy asks, I'm new to the group, so this may have already been answered, but how do you plan to transition out of ketosis so that you don't gain the weight back? I'm 15 to 20 pounds from my goal, and I think I better come up with a plan. Okay, so that's a really good question because I've been getting this one a lot too. So once I get to my goal weight, I do not know what it's like or how much or how many macros somebody who's 169 pounds gets to eat in a day. I don't even know, you know, so I feel like it's going to be starting all over again. Once I've hit my goal weight, I'm going to recalculate my macros, measure all my food. And being that I'll be in maintenance mode, I can have a little bit more macros or calories in a day versus when I'm in weight loss mode. So I'll add back in occasionally some potato, some quinoa, some whole grain stuff that I haven't had on at all in weight loss mode. So I'll add those in occasionally, sprinkle them in, but I will still be logging all of my food until I have learned how much a person who weighs 169 pounds weighs. Because clearly I did not know, because I got to 309 pounds because I was not logging food. I was eating too much. I clearly didn't know what a serving size was. You know what I mean? So I will treat it just as I was going to lose weight as just phase 2, where I get to eat a little bit more. And I will offset any days where I might have gone over with fasting. And fasting is one of the best ways to maintain weight loss. And it gets you back into ketosis quicker. And it overall just makes it so much easier than not fasting, in my opinion. So in a nutshell, I will just switch from weight loss mode, which was to maintain a calorie deficit, maintain 20 or less net carbs a day, you know, logging every food, being so diligent, to maintenance mode, which maybe I'll bump it up to 30 or 50 net carbs in a day, and whatever the macros will be for someone who's 169 pounds. And I will log my food just as I have been until I got the hang of it, and then sprinkle in the intermittent fasting, and that should be good. I will not gain this weight back. And I think having the fasting tool at my hands versus not knowing about fasting before will be an awesome way to maintain my weight loss. And plus, I'll enjoy being able to have a few carbs back in when you get to bump it up from maybe 30, 40, or 50 net carbs in a day. So overall, I'm really not going to eat very different. I just might have a few extras in there that I would not have in weight loss mode. So definitely still a low carb, high fat diet, but based off of the macros of my goal weight. And I think until you learn how to eat that way without logging everything, you've got to log it all in your food diary until you figured it out. So that's my plan, at least. And it'll be a whole nother beast in itself. And when I get there, obviously, I'm going to be a lot more smart or experienced to recommend it. But that's my plan as I get down there, because I have 100 pounds left until I'm in that same club. So congrats to you for only being 15 or 20 pounds from your goal. Excellent. So I can't wait to be that way too. Alrighty, so if anybody has any questions or comments or maybe some clarification that you would like, comment below. And if you liked this, also comment below and let me know, and I'll do more of these, and we can tailor them to each topic as well. So if you enjoyed this video, give me 2 thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more videos. And I will see you at the next video. I'm Jess, and you're watching Keto Rewind. Bye-bye now.